No, it does not mean a bathroom. I was having mega issues with my cameras. Like the ports on my computer, like were like freaking out. They're like, if I have this one plugged in here and then this one plugged in here, it like freaks out. But if I move it to this port, it got better. I don't know. It was weird. Can everyone hear me? I hope so. Yeah, who already disliked? I love the dislike. I think it's hilarious. Hysterical. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to make sure everything's okay. Again, we're doing this on like the old computer, not my laptop. I stream on my laptop sometimes, but I don't generally like to stream on it because it's not what it's really meant for. But this computer is old. I'm about half volume. Okay, fam. Half volume, really? It seems on my thing that I like fine, but okay. Come on. Okay. Yeah, my mic also is over here. I didn't want it on here because I didn't want to constantly be hitting it, and so maybe I'll turn it up a teeny bit. Hold on, sorry, it's kind of making me loud. And then I'll just try and talk a bit louder or try and talk kind of this way. You can see my back? Yeah, that's my back over there. Also, please ignore my dirty room. Loud enough to you. Okay, cool. Alrighty, people. Well, as I said, oh, I'm not pantsless. Don't worry. I got pants on, pantaloons on right here. Question: can anyone hear the music that I'm hearing? I don't think anyone can, but just let me know if you can. I'm just curious. I would like to have some music on in the background. I'm listening to it, but it'd be cool if you also could listen to what I'm listening to, because this is going to be ultimately a very chill stream, as my painting streams are generally. Judgment is happening. That's fair. My room is dirty. I am in that like pre-convention mode where I'm like, I have to leave to go to a convention, so I just don't feel like doing anything because I'm working on that all the time. What's up, Brad? I am indeed alive. What's up, Vision? How you doing? And this is... What's up, Becca? I'm listening to, I don't know why this doesn't work. It should work. It should be taken in the audio that I'm hearing. It used to. I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm just listening to, like, whenever I draw or I paint and I want just, like, music on in the background, I listen to, like, lo-fi beats, like lo-fi hip-hop beats. And again, they should be coming through, but they're not. Also, going through the stratosphere, it is pretty slow. So the video is a good couple minutes delayed. So if you write something in the chat and I don't answer it for a bit, that's probably why. Just got back from beach. I saw the bench. I was like, are you a judge? What's up, Rosie? Hi. I need to move this just a teeny bit. Much better. So the girls, the Natural History Museum today. You guys are just hitting all the fancy science stuff. Okie dokie. So today I am going to be painting Alice and King Arthur here from Unmatched. I haven't done anything else to them since our last stream, but I did Bigfoot and Sinbad in our last stream. I wanted to get a base coat on all of them before we left, if possible. Yes, and Brad, I told Brad to hit up Visor because Brad is in the Riverside right now, in the one and only Riverside, California. Everybody. Um, why did my music stop? Oof, man, it is. Computer is struggling. That's okay. So again, so we're painting these two, Alice and King Arthur. Should be fun. King Arthur is kind of straightforward. I mean, he's got like kind of like armor on. He's got like a helmet on, and but he's got a big cape. Capes are very, very fun and satisfying to paint because you can do a lot of like really fun and cool highlights on them. Um, which is nice. So that'll be very, very nice. And then Alice here is pretty kind of be cool. She's got this big poofy skirt on. I guess it's a dress rather, and she's got like kind of just Jerry's thing. She's got the big Vorpal sword here, which will be fun to paint. I'm trying to figure out. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for that yet, but I want her to be really colorful. I want her to be a lot of blues, a lot of pinks. And just make her kind of pastel and a lot of fun. I think it'll be a good time. And then how's my stream looking? Is it choppy at all? I feel like it's choppy on my end, but that just might be because my computer is struggling right now. I probably should have done on my laptop. I really don't want to stream off my laptop when I'm here, though, so I'm hoping this computer will work, but we'll have to see. And so the good thing is I'm using a different program than it was last time. So because last time I wasn't able to turn off the autofocus, so the thing kept trying to focus back and forth the entire time. It was driving me crazy. And so this time we won't have to deal with that, which will be nice. So let's go ahead and start. I'm trying to figure out who. I'm gonna start with King Arthur because I'm just not sure what I'm gonna want to do with Alice yet. So I'll make his cloak, his big cape here, a pretty bright red. And then his kind of, I don't know, his dress. Let's just call it dress. That's what it really is. Not really looks good. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Pastel and ready for hell. Becky, you ain't wrong. I'm going to make this kind of like a deep blue. Probably like this kind of dark Reaper blue. Hope you can see. It's kind of a darkish, grayish blue. I'm probably going to make that his dress. And so, yeah, so let's go ahead and start. We're going to start here with some Mephiston red right here. Yeah, I have Gene flashing on my face. Yes, I actually got... Do I think I could do that right now? Give me one second. I'll be right back. I'm going to see if I can fix that. Yeah, that's just sunlight coming through my blinds. I meant to string up a towel. And I'm going to see if I can do that right now, actually, just to make my life and your life a little bit easier. I will be right back. Right back. Ah, that's better. I love it. All right. Now we're back. Okay, cool. So now we're back. Now I don't have stuff all over my face. And we'll go ahead and go. Yeah, I actually meant to string up a towel in front of that so I didn't have those beams light on my face because I always forget about them until I sit down to stream in the evenings. And I'm like, oh yeah, the sun goes directly through that window. That's right. And so now we're back. Okay. So again, we're going to start with a little bit of Mephiston Red. I'm going to try to paint a little quicker. Last time, we got a ton of comments on that on the video, and people were just talking mad crap about how slow I paint. I don't really care, but I kept being like, yeah, I was like talking to people, and like, I don't paint to paint fast. I just paint because I like to paint, and yet people are just like, oh, you paint so slow. I'm like, oh, my bad, sorry. I'm trying to think, what? No. I need to get some new brushes. My brushes are starting to get a little ratty. They're getting ratty. There's no other way to put it. Yeah, honestly, it's just the last number of times I've painted with them. I just haven't been the best at cleaning them, which is 100% on me. I don't even want that small. I don't even want that small. We're doing this one. I don't care. Alrighty. How's everyone's day going? How's everyone's evening going? How's everyone's week going? So it could have been a home improvement stream. No, I wouldn't subject you to like watching me put up a towel. Well, I do hope everyone's week is going by. Okay, I gotta check and make sure I'm on camera if I do this right here. I sure am. Okay, good. So I'll make sure because again, my little preview video, YouTube gives you a little preview video that you can see. Is just significantly, it's like 2 minutes behind actual real life, so. Oh, I'm glad that you and Brad are gonna hang out. That's awesome. Just bringing people together. I might need to grab a new brush. This one is fraying on me. Yeah, let's grab a new one. Week's been great. Should have done a deep purple cape. I would have, except for I usually don't care about following card art. I usually just paint stuff however I want to paint them. But this one, I do kind of want to follow the card art. And I just red, it feels like a very King Arthur-y color. I'm not entirely sure why, but it just does. So, otherwise, I actually really enjoy painting purple capes specifically. Thank you, Ed. I can talk. I appreciate you. Let's pop in to say you're awesome. Like I said, week's been great. I'm teaching kids at the studio. We host different themed camps over the summer. This is the last week and dedicated to the masters every day, a different famous artist. Well, that's cool. If you had a thing about the Masters, I would have come out. Ah, hilarious. Because I'm insinuating that I'm one of them. Great joke, Nick. Thank you, Perrin. I appreciate that. I am very pleased with how my Bigfoot came out as well. So I'll always try and keep my thing on stream. It may not be all that possible. I'm actually going to... This is also... Also, who said you paint slow? We don't say mean things in the Ping Pong crew unless it's sarcastic. And it's one of those things, like, some people were being funny about it, you know, but there are a lot of people who are like, God, you painted for like 2 hours and all you did was the base coat on like 2 things. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. I wasn't painting for like, for fast sake. Yeah, it just cracks me up. There's just like, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to paint whatever pace I want to paint at, but it's just funny because you had like, I think like 2 or 3 comments on that video about how slow I paint. I'm like, oh, sorry. My apologies for wasting your time. This is hard as hell to get into here. Jeez. Yeah, these kind of areas suck. All right. That's better. All right. So that's the base for his cape. The good thing about capes also is they tend to paint quickly because of the fact that they are usually just one big area. So he's going to have a big old red cape. So now capes are nice because all you see, all the wrinkles, all the folds, you can highlight those out. And it's a very satisfying way to, let me bring this down a little bit. So that when I'm painting like this, my head is not always out of frame. Just sometimes out of frame. Yeah, they're very satisfying to paint. Today was Frida Kahlo Day, said Becca. That is cool. You just watch at 2 times speed. I love that. That's hilarious. Alrighty. So that's that. I think we'll do his like. Trying to think what next. I think we'll do his dress next. Because he doesn't have a lot of armor on. God, he's got to be tough because he's got a lot of just stuff up underneath and stuff. Yeah, so we'll do his dress now. Okay. Ooh, you know, or should I do like this? Nah, I'm gonna do this one. This is kind of a. Ooh, or should I do this? No, I'm gonna do this right here. What is it called? Macarage blue. Right here will be that'll be his undercoat. I'm not gonna do it quite as. I'm gonna have it more be a purpley kind of blue instead. Bang, bang. This is why I wish I could have music. So when no one's asking questions, no one's talking, we can all just hang out with music. It always bugs me when I can't. I don't know why. So weird. I don't know. I don't know. All right. So let's go ahead now. Let's do his dress. I'm going to keep calling it a dress until I actually know what it's called. How often do you think you'll play Unmatched? Take my headphones out? Maybe. I like the brush tabs and little noises. Okay, that's good. How often do I think we'll play a match? Pretty often. What I like about Unmatched, and this is not just me saying this because we're sponsored by Restoration Games, it's very fast. I like that. I'll tell you right now, if it was a 45-minute game always, probably not very often. I would enjoy the game, and I really do enjoy the game. I agree, Quicksand. That's what I say too. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to the chat. This is just not my kind of game in general. So the thing is, if it was a 45-minute game, I probably, honest to God, wouldn't play it that much. Because it's just not my jam. It's not my kind of game. But because of the fact that it is 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Tunic. Is it a tunic, though? I feel like it's not a tunic. I feel like I'm also painting off screen the entire time. My apologies. It is very, very difficult to paint on screen. And so, because it's short, going back to what I was talking about, sorry. Because it's short, I feel like we'll play it pretty often. And also because the different characters make it very, very interesting because it's fun to see how they play against each other. So I would, honest to God, say pretty often. Again, like one-on-one skirmish games aren't generally my thing. Not a huge war gamer. Not a huge. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm painting off screen the entire time. This is. I thought over here I was on screen, but I guess I'm not. My apologies. But I do think that this one will kind of be the exception to the rule of like, this isn't really my kind of game, but this one I actually like. I like it because I like the different characters. They all play so differently, and it's short. I mean, I've played the game a lot at this point, and I have not tired of it at all. So yeah. Since they have Bruce Lee, you should be able to do a one-punch win. I don't think there's a one-punch win. I feel like that'd be a little that would be a little unfair, but it would be cool. What character is or you think will be your favorite to play as? Right now, my favorite is Sinbad. Of the characters I've played, my favorite is Sinbad. I like Bigfoot and I like Robin a lot. They're both really fun. They're interesting. They're interesting characters to play as. I'm really excited for all the Buffy characters. I haven't played any of them, so I can't like say whether or not I enjoy. I think one of the Buffy ones could be really, really interesting because of just the way Buffy is in general. But I really think that the Jurassic Park ones may be the most fun because there's so much weird stuff you can do there. You know, with like the raptors, you know, you have like multiple raptors, and that's super, super cool. And so I'm very excited about playing as them. I've done a teeny bit of playing with them, a little bit of playtesting type stuff, but not much. And so I think exploring them will be really fun. But the thing is, there's stuff that we can't talk about that we know is in the down the pipe for them with Unmatched, and there's more stuff that they've been like, oh, we're so excited about this, but we can't tell you what it is yet. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't even know about yet. And so the thing about Unmatched is they can literally expand it forever. I mean, they can just keep going forever because they can choose real people like Bruce Lee or fake people like, you know, Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Or, you know, it's like they have so many options. And they're teamed up with Mondo, who are really, really good at getting IPs. I mean, hell, they got Jurassic Park. That's huge. They got Buffy. That's huge. Like, so it's one of those things where it's like, man, the sky is really limitless with it. I am very, very excited. I'll say right now, I didn't think I was going to be at first, but I'm probably most excited for the Cobble and Fog expansion. That's going to be coming out at I know it's next year. I think it may be at the UK Games Expo next year. But that one's going to be like, who's it going to be? It's going to be Sherlock Holmes, Jekyll and Hyde, the Invisible Man, and one more. I don't remember the last one, but that one sounds really fun. Sherlock and Watson will be super interesting. The Invisible Man could be super interesting. Jekyll and Hyde could be crazy interesting. Because I'm guessing they'll have certain situations where you're Jekyll or then you're turning into Hyde. And it's like, it sounds very cool. Ooh, a tabard. I feel like tabard is right. What primer do you use on these minis? I just recently got into painting and want to know what would be a good primer to use. For these ones, I have... Corax White, which is the Citadel primer. Get up in my... Actually, you can see it. Corax White, which is the Citadel primer. To be completely honest, it's okay. I really like Army Painter. I like Army Painter stuff. I don't have any more white in Army Painter, so I haven't used it. This is their anti-shine. It's like a matte varnish that I really, really like of theirs. It's by far my favorite kind of varnish to use. Like matte varnish is their anti-shine. So I personally prefer Army Painter, but I went to a hobby shop. They didn't have any Army Painter. They only had Citadel, so I grabbed that. But ultimately, primer is, in the end, pretty much just primer. No, it's not. I can't remember who the heck the last one is in the Cobble and Fog one. But it's going to be very, very cool. And I'm very, very excited about it. Yeah, so Unmatched is going to be dope. It's a really fun system. And on top of that, like, the price point's good. Like, for the main set, which is the 4 main people, which is Alice, King Arthur, Sinbad. Oops, sorry, I keep dropping Sinbad. Sinbad and then Medusa is $45, 40 or 45. And then the 2-pack is like 25 rather. It's like, that's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. Okay. What to do on him? Quick, let me do a little touch up on his cape since I still have some red. One thing I'll say about Citadel's reds is they dry much, much, much darker than when you first put them on, which is fine, but it's caused me a decent amount of strife because I was like, oh, this is the perfect color, and then it dries and it's way darker. All right. Yeah, people keep saying they need to come out with a Chuck Norris one because it's like him, like Bruce Lee. It's like, who's gonna beat him? You know, who's gonna beat him? And Monty Python, Francisco de Real. I agree. Monty Python set would be very, very fun. That would be a very, very fun set. Let me move this back over. Actually, let me try something real quick. Weird. Nope, still not working. Okay. Let's try to figure out why no one can hear my music. Oh, God, don't fall over, Nick. There we go. Come on. I did. There we go. Jackie Chan would be a great one. He's not quite as like he's better than Bruce Lee, but he's not quite as iconic. Why? Okay, that's right. Okay. Let's go ahead and do his like boot wrappings. His boot wrappings. We'll use my go-to like leather kind of one, which is XV88. It's my go-to one that when we darken down with a little bit of Agrax Earthshade, it'll look very nice. It's the go-to kind of boot. Boot stuff. Hashtag boot stuff. What other things would people want to see Restoration do with Unmatched? Personally, I would love Lord of the Rings. Of course I would. No way, Bruce Lee's a king. Nah, fool. Sorry to break it to you. Jackie Chan is far superior. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's a tough thing to learn when you finally find out, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm actually gonna make. Hold on, sorry, I'm just keep adjusting stuff, but just realize I am taking up an unnecessarily a large amount. No, stop doing that. Don't do that. Make me smaller. There we go. Hey. Do you think they'll come out with bigger maps? Do you think it even would be fun / needed with a bigger map? More variety in maps? I think that's actually an interesting question. I do not think it would be better or more fun if you were just playing 2 players. If you were playing just 2 players, I think you do not want a bigger map. Any bigger, it would go on too long, and there'd be too much of like hit and then run away, and then hit, run away. It would be too much, and so you can play in teams. So you can play like 2 versus 2, and in that case, that may be interesting with a bigger map. It works fine with. It's actually quite fun on teams, to be completely honest. I prefer it too, but it is fun to work together. But a bigger map might allow you to employ some different strategies and some more like long-term strategies to kind of not necessarily like draw the game out. But I think it'd be interesting. The main issue with that would be is your deck of cards is a timer in the game. You are limited. Once you are out of your deck of cards, you cannot reshuffle them. So, oh my gosh, this is so impossible. Oh, sorry, hold on. I hate it when I have to get back here like this. So, they would have to deal with that. You're too young. Nah, Joe Robert, sorry. Hate to break it to you. It's so tough and people have to learn the truth. So that would be a barrier they'd have to overcome with it. Is because if you make the map bigger, it's going to extend the game. And when you extend the game, you run into the same problem you have in the normal game. Well, it's not necessarily a problem. It's just, I actually think it's a really good thing, is the fact that there's a timer. When you're out of cards, you are... every time you would need to draw a card and you can't, or I think it's every turn, I have to look up the rule, but basically every turn or every time you can't draw a card and you would instead get 2 damage that you can't stop. And so basically, run out of cards, you are very, very quickly going to die. You not necessarily die right away, so you can still pull it out, and it doesn't happen very often, but it is a timer in the game, and I think that timer is pretty nice and crucial. Because card management is a big part of the game, especially if you have someone like Sinbad. Sinbad's character allows you to draw a lot of cards, so you end up running out of cards a lot, and you have to manage that. You have to manage the amount of cards you're using. You have to make sure you're not blowing through too many, and then essentially end up offing yourself because of it. So so that's something you have to watch out for. So if you're doing bigger maps, especially if you're doing teams, you would still be on that same time constraint. So I feel like you'd have to change it where you would have to maybe make it where you can go through your deck twice or something like that. Or something like you'd have to change that part of it. I think it'd be funny to do random characters that wouldn't be strong like Eeyore. That'd be wild. That'd be so weird. He's got kind of like a little bit of an undercoat underneath his dress and underneath the mail. He's got like his cape, his dress, his mail, and then whatever clothes are underneath that. There's a bit showing on his arms, and then a bit sticking out on the bottom of his dress here. And so I don't want that to really take away from it. So I'm just going to grab some... No, not that. I just kind of want like a tan, like a light tan. Let's grab we'll just do Carrick Stone. Carrick Stone's kind of like a light general tan color. I'm going to fill it in with that. Have we played Dice Throne? We have, Joe. And I like it a lot. Our friend Crook has it. We don't have it, and we probably won't get it, even with the new Kickstarter out, because our friend Crook will get it, and we just don't need to have it if he has it. But I do like it a lot. I love the art. I love the idea of it. I love the general feel of the game. It's a very, very fun game that I quite enjoy. And I'm very excited for the new content. But that's one of those games that they can just keep coming out with new characters and not do anything else with it. And I'd honestly just be fine. Hi, Cheryl. So yeah, but I do like it quite a bit. By the way, if you're enjoying this, make sure to give this video a thumbs up or thumbs down. Thumb up makes me feel better, but thumbs down help, honestly, just as much as thumbs up. So do whatever your heart tells you to do. But make sure you give it a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't already. How would you compare this to Unmatched? I'm guessing you mean Dice Throne. They're not similar in any real way, except for the fact that, like, in terms of general theming of the game, in terms of, like, each player chooses one hero, and then you're fighting to the death. Other than that, they're not at all similar. I like Unmatched better because of the movement around the board. You know, on Dice Throne, as you know, there's no movement. You're just rolling dice like Yahtzee style. So I like the movement in Unmatched more. But I do like a lot. And honestly, they're not really comparable, aside from the fact they're both two-player one-on-one kind of fighting games with different characters that are all pretty asymmetric. But they're both very fun. The sun goes down. Yeah, if anyone else has any questions about pretty much anything, this is a chill stream, so this is your time to ask all your burning Brothers Murph questions. Say Southern Dice Throne Adventures, then it's a modular board. That is true. And it's co-op too, right? That's what I'm most excited for. You take a game I love and make it co-op, and I'll probably love it more. It's the reality of the situation. I've been playing Orleans Invasion with my roommate, Tall David, and he has been absolutely loving it because that game is amazing. And we've been really good. We've played three games and we've won two of them, which I don't know if anyone out here knows much about Orleans Invasion, but that game is impossible. So I'm pretty pumped about it, actually. Any major tips for painting minis? In the beginning, just keep it simple. Do a base coat and a wash. It's pretty much all you need. James Thurston. I know another James Thurston. I don't think you are him, but that would be weird. Yeah, so I would say keep it simple. Don't try to do anything crazy. Again, do a base and a wash and keep it at that for a while. Just get better about base painting. And just don't worry about doing any of that crazy stuff. Don't do any of the it's some people can get in too deep too fast and try to do all these like crazy details and stuff like that. Honestly, it sounds dumb, but like have fun. Like that's honestly my main thing is just have fun. You don't need to go crazy buying like super expensive brushes or super expensive paints. Just have fun, do a base, a wash, and that's pretty much all you need. And then you're good to go. There's not much else. You'll start to learn new things, watch videos. You know, it's... James, I do remember meeting you. My apologies. I saw your full name, and I was just like, oh, man. I wonder how that guy's doing. The other James. Yeah, so, I mean, not too much, Francisco, honestly. I'm not the best painter, so, like, I'm probably not the best person to ask, but nonetheless, have fun. That's really my best advice is have fun. Okay. So he actually doesn't have that much going on in terms of, like, different stuff. As of right now, I have his gloves, which I'm going to do probably in, like, a darker brown, his sword, and then his helmet / chainmail, and then he's just got like a bunch of, I don't have any of his art near me. I'm trying to think of what it is he has. He has like a bunch of I guess they're medallions. It's like some kind of, oh, it's a chain. Okay, so I'll just do that in the chainmail one too. Okay. Okay, that's okay. I feel like there's another question. What was the trigger that made Mike and I decide to start streaming? So if we're talking about specifically streaming, it was actually Restoration Games, and specifically Suzanne Sheldon from the Dice Tower, who works with Restoration Games, if you don't know. It was Restoration Games, and specifically Suzanne. We were in talks with Restoration Games about a potential sponsorship. And yeah, so we were in talks with them. Why is this here? I don't know why this is here. We're in talks with Restoration Game about a potential sponsorship. And we had a meeting with them just talking about, like, hey, this is what a sponsorship might entail. This is what, we would kind of want from you out of a sponsorship. And just basically the first meeting to decide if they wanted to work with us, if we wanted to work with them. Ultimately, we both did. But the meeting was between Mike and I, obviously, and then Justin Jacobson, who owns Restoration Games, and then Suzanne. And Suzanne suggested we start streaming. She said, hey, like, something I think you guys should do is start streaming. Two reasons. One, I think you guys would have a good personality for it because you're good live. And two is because streaming is a really untapped market in board games. And we wanted to make them happy. We didn't really have much interest in streaming and just hadn't really even thought about it. But we were like, you know what, we should do it because we don't want them to go, oh, they just like didn't listen to us. And so we're like, okay, we're gonna start streaming, not necessarily to appease the sponsors, because it was not like a demand by any stretch of the imagination or anything like that. But we did it because we wanted to make sure that they knew that we were listening and make sure that they knew that like, hey, we're like down to take suggestions and like down to like, you know, and change stuff up and work together and all that stuff. So we did it honestly for that reason. And then we started it and then right away really enjoyed doing it. Really, really enjoyed doing it. And we enjoyed the interaction. We enjoyed how much it allowed us to build our community. Our community is as strong and as big as it is because of streaming. I mean, not that saying like if you don't watch us stream, you're not a part of the community or a big part of the community. You are. But I think what made our community so welcoming and so strong was the fact that people got to hang out with us multiple times a week on stream. I mean, hell, you're all here. You know, it's like streaming. It's a way to get instant feedback from us, from you. You can ask a question and I can answer it right here. And I can look you in the eye just like this, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And it's not as good as like us hanging out at a game store playing whatever, but it's close enough, you know. And I think that streaming has allowed us to build like our community, and our following is small, like really small. It's not even that big because it's not even that big in the board game world. Like, we're still very, very small in the board game world in terms of like, if you look at just like straight numbers wise, like straight views, subscribers, all that kind of stuff. I just made his face like a nice, easy flesh tone. But I feel like we have one of the strongest communities of them all. I'm talking rivaling even people like the Dice Tower and Shut 'Em Sit Down, these big ones. They have more people in them, but in terms of strength and loyalty and just togetherness and all this kind of stuff, I feel like we have one of the strongest communities of them all. I mean, absolutely. And that is, I think, directly because of the fact that we stream. I don't think it's quite as easy to get a community if you don't. And so, I can't remember why the hell I started talking about that. But we really took... Oh, that's what. Because we really took to streaming. And a lot of the reason was because of the ability... Rather, how do I want to say this? It gave us the ability to build a strong community. And so yeah. So it was weird. So I had a follow-up question. So how did you get hooked in or... I had the initial be in the first place? Dice Tower Con? No. Justin reached out to us on Twitter and just said like, hey, you know, we're kind of looking to sponsor a channel. We really, really like what you guys do on the Dice Tower. You know, at that point, when he first reached out, we hadn't even started our YouTube channel yet, like our own YouTube channel. And so it was pretty much, we were very lucky. We got a really great sponsor basically right out the gate. We didn't actually end up locking down terms and all that kind of stuff until basically the new year. But we started talking to them in, I think July. So that was crazy. But yeah, so it just kind of was out of nowhere. They just hit us up. And we were like, oh, like, okay. Like, we had heard about Restoration Games, but that's about it. You know, we didn't know at that time. We hadn't played anything of theirs. But we knew Suzanne worked with them, and we really liked Suzanne. And we hadn't even really talked to Suzanne much. Because, again, we hadn't been to Dice Tower Con. We hadn't been to any conventions. And so we were pretty much brand new. And so we were kind of just like, oh, okay, cool. That sounds awesome. And it worked out well. But yeah, so that's how we got into streaming. It's kind of a weird thing. We kind of did it to, again, it sounds wrong to put it like to appease somebody, but that's, we were really just wanted to make sure that, like, you know, oh crap. Now his face is silver. We really wanted to make sure that Restoration knew that we were, you know, willing to listen and willing to, you know, kind of like not do, I guess, do what was asked, you know, and kind of take suggestions, you know. They're like, hey, we have this suggestion for you. We think it'd be really good. And we're like, yeah, we want to show that we take suggestions well and, you know, just be good sponsees. I feel like someone else had a question. Oh, and hello, Dan Phillips. I'm sorry. I did see the thing about your daughter. We are very excited to play games with you all at next year's Dice Tower West, which is going to be the premier Dice Tower Con, I think, eventually. Whether or not they want it to. Dice Tower West is going to be huge. So how'd you hook up with the Dice Tower? Also kind of, well, not necessarily by, I was going to say by accident. Not accident. Accident's the wrong way of putting it. But, we went to MeepleCon, or what is now Dice Tower West, but it used to be called MeepleCon. We went to MeepleCon in 2017 just because it was a local convention, or local enough, you know, it was in Vegas. And we knew the Dice Tower went there. Mike, at that point, didn't really watch the Dice Tower, played tons of games with me, but I was the one who consumed all the board game content. He didn't consume nearly as much as I did. Now he does, but back then he didn't. And so I wanted to go to this convention, one, because it was a board game convention, and two, is because I really wanted to meet the Dice Tower guys, or at least see them and just stand in awe at their presence. And hold on, my roommate just texted me. He goes, "You streaming?" Probably because he can hear me talking to myself in here. And so we went there. I ended up talking to Tom, and I played a number of games with Z, actually. Mike and I both did. It was very, very cool. But we were just two random guys, like two random, you know, fanboys, just being like, you guys are cool. I like you. And shortly after that convention, I was watching Board Game Breakfast, and Tom put out a call on Board Game Breakfast for contributors. He was like, hey, like, we're looking for more contributors. We're looking for people to, you know, have a segment on the Dice Tower on Board Game Breakfast specifically. If you are interested, make up a segment, send us in an audition video, you know, to this email, and we'll let you know. And Mike and I had been wanting to just do something creative, you know, create something, didn't really care what. Just wanted to do some creative, make videos about whatever. And I was like, hey, man, we both love board games. We got to meet the Dice Tower guys. I watch them all the time. They seem super cool. We should audition. We should say, we should go out there and just be like, hey, like, we're down to do stuff. And he was super down. He's like, yeah, it sounds awesome. Let's do it. So we made Thrift Store Throwbacks and Adventures in Board Gaming, actually. We made two different things, two different videos, and pitched them to Tom. And he wanted Thrift Store Throwbacks. Didn't want... yeah, he didn't want Adventures in Board Games, but he said, yeah, like, I would really like to have Thrift Store Throwbacks on the channel. On Board Game Breakfast, you're in. Start making them for us. And we said, okay. And then we started. And then we became moguls. You know how it goes. No, but yeah, so that was it. He put a call out for contributors, and we went for it. It wasn't some kind of big old thing. It was just like, no, he just made call for contributors, and that was it. But it was pretty cool. And now we're best friends. And Mr. Thurston, I believe earlier asked for me. Let me double check. Hold on. I gotta touch up his stupid face because his stupid face has stupid metal on it now. Thurston, I believe, asked if you guys know if you're making the Dice Tower cruise in January yet. We don't know yet. I'm going to go ahead and say probably. I do not know for sure, and that probably may change. There's a very, very good chance it will change. Well, not a very good chance, but there's every possibility it will change. But we are hoping it does not. But probably. We'll stick with that. Okie dokie. We are going just as slow as last time, which will be great. It'll piss off people in the comments. I love it. Okay. So I gotta do his gloves, and then... Oh, it's just a big-ass scabbard back there. Alright, so I gotta do his gloves, his belt, it looks like, in there. Oh, man, this is so confusing. And then his sword, and that's it for him. Do you know if they're going to shrink Dice Tower West like they are Dice Tower East? I don't know. I don't think so. Don't quote me on that. I don't believe so, though. Yeah, I think they're adding to it, as Visher just said. That one, I think they don't mind if it gets a little bigger. One, because again, they're now running Dice Tower East. They're the ones running it. Dice Tower West, they're still not running it. Tim runs it. And so, and I know he wants it to be bigger. So I don't think they are. And I've told Tom multiple times, I said like, hey man, we do not have a big West Coast convention. This convention, Dice Tower West, could be the big West Coast convention. I mean, it'll never be Gen Con size, but it could, I honest to God think, end up being like Origin size. I really, really think I really think it could be Origin size because we're at a lack of options. Vegas is very easy to get to. It's very cheap to get to for most people in the country. It's got the Dice Tower name on it. It's I really think it could be as big as Origins. And I think whether or not they shrunk Dice Tower East, I think it would have gotten bigger than Dice Tower East within 2 years. I firmly believe that, and I told Tom that exact thing. I said whether you want it or not, brother, Dice Tower West is going to blow up. I was like, it's going to be huge, and it's going to get bigger. It's going to be the bigger of your two conventions. And he was like, no. And I was like, yes, sir. I'm telling you right now, brother. You can think it's not, but it's gonna. So I don't think they're going to shrink it. If anything else, I think they'll keep adding to it. I don't know if they'll let it get, like... I don't know if they'll ever let it get Origin size. But if they allowed it to, I think it could. I really, really think it could. And I wish it would. I would love to have a big West Coast convention. I would love to have a big convention that we don't have to travel 4 hours on a plane to. I would kill for that, actually. Don't get me wrong. I love sitting on uncomfortable planes as much as the next guy. See, I don't mind. I don't mind that. We have Strategicon for a smaller local convention. I don't mind it at all, personally. Especially because, like, well, here. No, more than 5,000. More than 5,000. Personally, that's my personal view. I could care less either way, honestly. If it gets bigger, great. If it gets smaller, whatever. But if they have it like PAX Unplugged was a big convention, but had a ton of just sitting around playing games. If they made it like PAX, because Origins there was a lot of like open gaming, but it was still too much just buying stuff. PAX Unplugged though, if they had like PAX Unplugged, make it as big as you want. It was awesome. But that's my personal viewpoint on it. And I understand that people will probably disagree with me. Yeah, but Strategicon blows. But Strategicon blows, I think, because of the location, not because of the actual convention. Because you're right, Strategicon does blow, but it's because of the location. If you put Strategicon in like a Dice Tower West kind of situation where it's mostly one big room or like one or two big rooms, totally changes that whole convention. And then have a separate room that's like the dealer hall, totally changes that convention. That convention sucks. Well, I like Strategicon. It's not great because of the way it's laid out. If you change that venue, totally different convention. Totally different convention. Because Strategicon is big. Strategicon is like, I think like 2,500 people that go to Strategicon. You could never tell because of the crappy way it's laid out. But it's a pretty big convention. Oh, I hate where all these things are situated. Oh. So to get back here, I have to touch a whole bunch of other stuff, which means I have to go back and touch it up. Ugh. I honestly, I hate really intricate models. It drives me crazy. It's like you can't get in there. What the hell is the point of this? Oh, lordy. It's ultimately fine, but it's just one of those things. Because the good thing about, like, if you can't get in there, it's like, all right, well, you never have to highlight that stuff because it's like, it's just, no one will ever see it, you know? But it's like, you still need to make sure it's painted. At least with the base coat. And it's just such a freaking nightmare to get in here. And not just hit a bunch of work you just did. I think I am out of Muzak. We are out of Muzak. Okay, hold on. Nick needs more Muzak. You need a smaller brush. Yeah, but even with a smaller brush, it's so difficult. I hope Gen Con still has open spaces for gaming. That's the best part of Dice Tower Con. Yeah, I wouldn't count on it. Gen Con is, I mean, I love Gen Con. It's fun, super fun to go to. It's great, but they're out of room. I mean, they are 100% out of room. What's this one? And so, ooh, what's this one? Yeah, so there's just really not much Gen Con can do. There's nowhere they can go in terms of like, in terms of in indie. I mean, they're out of space. They're out of space. The last place they could have gone was Lucas Oil Stadium, and they took it over a couple years ago. And aside from that, like, you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. And so Gen Con is for buying games, really. For sure, it totally is. I just still wish there was more open space. But again, it's like, it's not really Gen Con's fault. They outgrew that space. But the problem is they'll never leave indie because indie absolutely will do anything for them. I mean, we'll bend over backwards. We'll do whatever they need to do to keep them there. I mean, as far as I know, I heard Indy is actually building like 3 or 4 more big ass hotels downtown. And it's for a lot of different reasons, but it is mostly for Gen Con. Because Gen Con is so out of they've been out of hotel space for a while, you know? And now they'll have some more. You know, it's like they will do anything to keep them there. Any brushes and paint sets that you recommend? Really, Francisco, any like beginner paint set that comes with you can get Citadel, you can get Army Painter, you can get Vallejo, you can get P3. I would just say get paints that are for mini painting. You can use like just random acrylic paints you get from like a hobby store, but don't use paints that are meant for this. You really, really want to make sure you're using paints that are meant for this. You can get by without it, but it's just, you're going to have a better experience using the right materials. But in terms of like what paints, I like Citadel paints personally. You do not need them. They are expensive and unnecessarily expensive, honestly. But I do honestly like them. I like the way they are, and I'm a bit of a collector in the sense where it's like, you know, you can see here I have all my Citadel paints, and I really don't want to introduce another kind of paint because it's gonna mess up my look. Which is a dumb thing to care about, but I care about it. So I like Citadel a lot, but I am in no way saying that Citadel is like necessary or even the best necessarily. I've always heard very, very good things about Vallejo paints. In terms of brushes, just get small brushes. You can find a cheap beginner, or not even beginner, cheap brush set on like Amazon or something like that for not that much money. I got a bunch of brushes. I'm not going to move my camera because it was such a pain to get it back. A bunch of brushes over here. I have probably like, it was probably like a 10 or 12 brush set of these right here, which are my Artscape brushes that are specifically for mini painting. I think there was like $15 maybe. And they're great. I've had them for years. I'm going to need some more, mostly because I just, honestly, I didn't keep as good a care of them as I could have. But like, I'd say get a beginner set, or what I did with my paints is I just built it up over time. I looked at what I needed in terms of like, ooh, for this piece, for this model that I'm painting, I want it to be red, green, and blue. So I got a couple reds, a couple greens, a couple blues. And then for the next one, I was like, ooh, I need some browns. So I went and got some browns. Like, I never bought a set. I just kind of went out and bought paints as I went. And the thing about paints and mini painting, and especially if you're doing something like Citadel, they'll have about 1 billion different colors, and you don't need them all. You don't need them all, because you know what? You can mix paints. You can mix them. If you have a light purple and a dark purple, guess what? You can make a medium purple by mixing them. So the thing is, so many people buy like every different shade of every different color, and it's super unnecessary. You could have not gotten some of those shades and just mixed other shades. So I would say don't go too crazy. Get all your primary colors, some browns maybe, and definitely get a couple of washes. I would say at least get Nuln Oil and Agrax Earthshade, which is like a black and then a brown wash. Maybe a couple of metallics, a couple silvers, you know, maybe a gold or something like that. And you're set, man. You don't need nothing else. It is a bit unnecessary to start with anything more than that. Especially because it's like, they're expensive. And at least for me personally, buying them over time has made them affordable. Because each one of these paints is going to be like $4.50, $5. And again, each individual color will last you a while. Like, most times I bought all these paints years ago, and I have only gone through maybe 6 pots of paint, because you just don't use them that often ultimately. Like, it's, you know, this specific color of orange, Fire Dragon Bright, like, I don't use this orange that much, but I have it, you know, and it's nice to have. And so the good thing is, it's like, as you collect over time, it makes it cheaper for you. Because Citadel paints never go on sale, so it's not like you're going to find a fire sale of them somewhere. And they're specific enough where they're not going to show up at like a Michael's or something like that, where you could use a coupon. So yeah, so that's, I guess, my suggestion. If you ask me a question about suggestions, I would likely give you 17 answers, none of which are very good. Alright, so I think that is the base coat for Mr. King Arthur is his name. I almost called him George. I don't know why. George of the Jungle here. So, he looks okay. He looks okay. I'm not quite... I'm a little less of a fan of the blue of his dress, but I think it'll end up looking pretty good. Yeah, I kind of wish I muted it down a little bit, but I don't care enough to actually go repaint over everything. Joe Robert, thank you so much for being here. I don't know if you're actually gone yet. I was answering a question and painting, and so I wasn't paying attention to the chat. My apologies. Um, but yeah. Nerds everywhere. Nick, what type of convention would you like to attend that has nothing to do with art or board games? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Good question, David Phillips. Okay. Ooh, that's a good question. For straight fun's sake, a flat Earth convention. For like real, honest to God sake, and I'm gonna try to go with nothing nerdy, so I'm not gonna say like Comic-Con, because that's not board games, but in the realm, you know, we're all nerds. I mean, you're a nerd. I'm not a nerd. Are these minis for the main demo set at Gen Con? Visor, I asked Justin, I said, hey, I can bring them to Gen Con. We can show them off painted. And he said no, because he doesn't want people to think that they come painted. And I was like, that's probably a good point. So no, I did offer to bring them though. Mr. Pendragon, thank you, Dave Phillips. Oh gosh, in terms of an Alien Con, maybe. Oh Lord, I don't know. Probably okay. Again, for joke, Flat Earth convention. For reality, probably like an astronomy convention. I really, really love astronomy. I'm a big astronomy. I was going to say buff, but I'm not smart enough to be an astronomy buff because I don't understand so much of it. But I'm a big astronomy, let's just say fan. I listen to a lot of astronomy books. I read a lot of astronomy books. Don't understand half the crap that's in them. But I listen to a lot of books because I commute to and from the studio a lot. I probably listen to a book every 2 weeks or so. I would say at least half the books I listen to are astronomy books. I really, really love astronomy. So I'd say an astronomy convention. I'm gonna grab the box. I'm trying to think of what Alice is actually wearing, what colors she's wearing. I forgot that looking at the art is not actually that helpful because Oliver Barrett's art is relatively, I was going to say monotone. That's not really the right, monochromatic also isn't the right way of putting it. It's just, it's very desaturated. A lot of the stuff looks like this, you know, it's like this kind of desaturated line art. It's not like a good way to get a good view on like, oh, like it should be this color. Just trying to think. Again, I want her to be... I mean, she is in the classic, like, Alice dress, which is blue with the white in the front. But I kind of don't want to do that. I also love... She's got this, like, short pixie hair going on. It's great. Is it wrong that I want to go to Roswell September 19th through 20th to watch people watch? It's not wrong. God, that whole thing. Like, a lot of those people don't understand that, like, Area 51 is a military base. Now, whether or not you think that military base is hiding aliens or not is, again, it's not. I don't think, personally. Well, I'm sure we'll get to in Death by Monsters. But, like, whether or not you think that's true, it's still a military base. You cannot storm a military base. Like, if they legitimately try and storm a military base, all those people are going to get killed. Like, legitimately will probably get murdered. Well, not even murdered. They will get shot by the... Like, it's the reason you can't, like, storm the White House. You will get shot. And it's a military base. You can't storm Annapolis. Like, if they honestly storm try and storm it, they're all probably going to die. And they should have seen that one coming. They should have seen that one coming. Doing Queen of Hearts, I don't really want to... I want to keep it Alice, and Queen of Hearts is too red for Alice. I really want to do like a kind of like a light blue, like a kind of pastel-y blue, and then kind of like a pastel-y pink. But I don't know if I want to make her dress blue and the under, kind of the under, with the furls, all the fur, I don't know what the hell they're called, pink. I don't know what to do. I may do like a polka dot thing. Oh, she's got these big F-off boots. They're awesome. So, oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Again, all those people are gonna die if they actually try and storm a military base. The military will not care. They're like, you can't just come on to our base. Like, this is private government property. Oh, Funky Side, I didn't know that was you. Okay, what's up, brother? Have a good night, man. Yeah, Arthur. Alice is tough. Alice is... Oh, it's so hard to pick a favorite. I really like playing as Alice. Alice is very fun. Oh, lordy. I can't figure out how I want to paint her. Well, she's... Okay, so here I'm gonna do her dress that kind of blue. I'm going to do... She has a shirt on underneath, and there's a bow on the back of that. I'm going to do that pink. And this like kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but these markings on the Volpo blade, I think I'm going to do those blue and pink as well. And I think that could look freaking sick. All right, let's do it. They should do Zorro, Lone Ranger, and Humpty Dumpty. I love that. Zorro would be awesome. That would be cool. Do both on the skirt, like striped. I was thinking about that, Sass Queen. I was thinking about that. But stripes are hard. Nah, I'm not going to do it. We'll see. I can always change it if I want to. I'm just going to do a blue for right now. Zorro would be cool, and Zorro's got to be public domain at this point. I would only assume so. I think I'm also painting slower than I was last time. That's good. That's the wrong spot. Oh, God. Okay. Everything is fine. They can get on base if they got a visitor pass first, but then they have to have a legit reason to be there. At least it's how it works to get into Fort Knox. Yeah. And then on top of that, they're not... Like, okay, let's say they get in, right? Let's say they actually somehow storm it and don't all get killed by the military. Like, there's going to be access doors that require codes. Like, if it is this secret military base that's, like, hiding aliens, they're not going to be in the lobby. Like it's the most ridiculous thing, and I hate that we're all talking about it this much. It's so ridiculous. But we are. It's working. It's working. Because we're all talking about it. Yeah, it's like, yeah. It's like if you somehow get to the White House, you don't just get to walk into the Oval Office. Like, it's just so silly. Have you all seen the map of the invasion plan? It's hilarious. So you see funny people in that group. Oh, it's going to be great. Say, well, it's completely a joke that went viral. Oh, 100%. 100%. The problem is, it's like, there's someone out there dumb enough to like think it's real and go for it, and they're gonna get killed. Like, it's not funny, despite me laughing about it. Robinson Crusoe and his psychic friend the cannibal. I'm down. Robinson Crusoe would be fun. Oh, she's got grenades and stuff on her belt. Oh, so awesome. On a big clock. Oh, that's so cool. Like I said, I haven't really looked at this mini that closely. That's so metal. Okay, so that's her dress. Oh, that's cool, Cheryl. All right, Saskia, we'll see you in a bit. Alrighty. Let's let that dry a bit. Let's do her boots, which I kind of want to make like... I'm just gonna give her like gray boots. I think I'm gonna do a little storm vermin fur, which is kind of warm gray. Yeah, pretty much, David Phillips. What's up, Maggie? going on, Mikey? You want to go to work today? It's too much. Ah, fool. Good. I should have done the pink first. Because I'm going to have to redo all this blue. Damn it. I didn't think. Yeah, that was dumb. Hi, Karen. I feel like I am not painting well today. That's my never-ending struggle with painting. Yeah, Dirth. You know my pain, brother. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Dirth. That's exactly what I do, man. Just like put down your colors and then immediately have to redo everything you just did. Just like that. I touch the boot, and now I got to redo that part of the boot. I'll see you later, Tanner. Paint job worth doing 4 times. You ain't wrong, baby. You ain't wrong, David Phillips. You ain't wrong, baby. Ooh, what's up, Daniel? How you doing? I'm glad you're here. Is this the Alice model? It is indeed. Currently painting Grim Forest and having a blast. I really, honestly, I want to get Grim Forest just to paint. That one, it looks like such a great time to paint. What's that, Vigi? The bridge troll looks like an absolute blast. Just the character might do washing the house. The washing the house is honestly probably all you need on him. That's a big sword for Alice. Oh, yeah. The Vorpal Blade. She's much stronger than she looks. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Mm. Oops. Trying to figure out her hair. Her hair is kind of odd looking. I can't tell if she has like a shaved side to her head. Just in case, I'm going to paint over it like she does. And I guess I could technically choose. Do I have any painting playlists I listen to? I found it super relaxing to put on music while I paint. I'm listening to music right now. I was trying to put the music through so you all could hear what I'm listening to, but I couldn't get it to work for whatever reason. I do listen. Well, it depends. I usually listen to books, but if I listen to music, I usually listen to like lo-fi hip hop kind of stuff. Like I just like kind of instrumental, just chill beats are like my favorite thing to listen to while I draw and or paint. I'm gonna change her boots. Her boots are gonna be too similar in color to her skin. Making the most subtly cool dude ever. Why, Karen? Cheryl, go to bed. We'll be streaming tomorrow. Talib Kweli? I don't know who that is. I do. Is it because I'm making a dope ass Black Alice? Hell yeah. Dark purple or hot pink would be cool for the boots. Yeah, I think I was gonna keep them. I was originally gonna do them. Yeah, like some kind of purple or pink or maybe like bright green or something. But I was worried that it would be too garish for the rest of her. But now, since I decided to make her skin dark, the boots are too dark. It blends in too much, and so now I need to change them into something else. Um, I've been thinking that for like 10 minutes since you started. Great, yeah. Yep, you know what's what. Yeah, I know. Um, yeah, I'm gonna change the boots. I don't know what though, because I want the focus to be on her very Alicey blue pink color. So maybe I'll do purple, like a dark purple, and these kind of like, I don't know if there's straps on her boots, but over the raised parts of her boots. Maybe I'll do in like a lighter purple. Nothing super obvious, but just enough to offset her skin. I got you, Karen. Are you sticking with the color palette of the Alice cards? Loosely. Again, the problem with the cards, the color palette for the cards in Unmatched, I showed this one earlier, is most more like this very kind of saturated, unsaturated, non-color kind of cards. Most of the color comes through in like the background. So it's hard to honestly match it to any kind of card art for that reason. So I'm kind of roughly sticking to it. Like with Sinbad, whose card I just showed, like all of Sinbad's like background stuff is kind of orangish and it has this kind of purpley blue a lot times to it. So I gave him, you know, an orange sash, an orange turban, and then kind of that darkish blue pants. And then Bigfoot's, you know, Bigfoot. And then King Arthur's main color is red. That's what most of his cards are. And then a lot of times his tabard, I think is what we decided it was called, is also kind of a dark bluish, and so I made that. But his main point is red, so that's why I made that. And Alice generally has, you know, blue and pink are very Alice-y colors, and so I was gonna go with that and that. But honestly, her cards are kind of like this desaturated kind of gray color. They're not really blue or pink, and so I'm just mostly going off of how I like to think of Alice in this way, and this is how I like this kind of badass blue pink feel. I like it. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna need to touch up the blue again. Which I do have some left. Okay. What percentage of excitement versus stress for Gen Con? I was busy for you guys. Mike said we are more and more on the full excitement, less stress. Doing our preview yesterday, guys, really pumped. Yeah, 100%. It's gonna be stressful. Honestly, our meetup on Thursday is probably the most stressful part of it, at least for me personally, because I really want it to go well, and it will. It'll be just a chill, fun time, but like, that's probably honestly the most stressful part. So, the most stressful part is hanging out with a bunch of bing bongs. So, I'm pretty pumped. Pretty pumped. But the stress level is definitely there. But it's not like stress level midnight. Keep touching other crap. Death. Purple with caterpillar green laces would be cool for the boots. Yeah, I kind of wanted that gothy look. You know, a lot of goth boots will have that. They'll have like black boots with like bright pink and like green. I may. And thanks, Sass Queen. Did we get our clothes, Mikey, from Gen Con already? Because that'd be cool. I had to look up what Disney Alice looked like. Just plain white stocking isn't much of a creative direction for combat boots. Yeah, no, afraid not. So I'm going to do a base of this really dark... Or should I do like Xerxes purple? Because this is so dark. It's like hard to almost even tell it's purple. I'm going to do this purple because I'm going to be putting a wash on it anyway, which is going to darken it more. And then I'm going to do like... For like the straps, I'm going to do like a moot green, which is like a really kind of electric-y green. Oh gosh, I don't even know. Should I just do green? No, I feel like I should have something else. I'm going to do more of this blue, I think. No, actually I'm going to do like a... I'm going to mix this Screamer Pink, which is really dark pink, into my bright pink. And I'm going to do green and pink. Yeah, I came fast. It looked really good. Oh, I'm so pumped. I love merch. I love merch. Alrighty. Let's do this. I'm painting mega slow tonight. Oh, the comments are going to be ruthless. And I'm going to giggle so hard. Who needs subtlety when you have bright colors? Yeah, I want to do bright colors, you know, because the rest of them are all kind of like, not drab, but normal-ish. So, yeah, I want to have fun. Alice is the most fun character to paint. All right, Daniel, we'll see you later. Do you have any of the Hex Wraith technical paints? No. It's crazy bright green. I have not. That is awesome, though. Oh, yeah, this purple was a better idea. This was a better idea. Don't touch your skin. Don't have to redo what you just did. Yeah, that's better. Mm-hmm. Alrighty, now we got big purple boots. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go with the darker purple. That dark purple is so dark, it is too dark, frankly. Alright. Okay. Any blood can be on that sword, or does Alice keep it clean after each battle? I feel like it would be... I don't feel like it would match the game if I had blood on it, honestly. She probably would. I feel like she would not clean her blade. Feel like she would want her enemies to see how badass she is. But I don't feel like it matches the game. If she were in like a... You probably said, what you can do for the hair. I actually haven't said what I'm going to do for the hair. I don't know. I kind of want it to be like bleached. Like a bleached blonde. Like almost like a white blonde. Maybe white. I don't know yet. I don't think I want it to be colorful. because she already has a very colorful dress. She's going to have colorful boots. Her sword is going to have color on it. So I don't really want it to be mega colorful because I feel like it's going to be too much. We're getting into kitchen sink territory at that point, and I'm worried that it's going to end up being like, oh, look, like I just threw every single color I could possibly think of onto this one. Which there are some times when I love that, but I don't want it to do it on this one. So we're gonna see. I don't think I'm gonna do it any kind of color. But because of her skin, I need it to be something light if I want it to stand out. So I think her having like some badass, like, if I can get like a good bleach blonde going, I think that would look pretty cool. Okay, I need her boots to dry, so I guess I better do her blade. I'm going to do lead belcha. Yeah, I dig it. A nice light hair. Maybe have a hint of color be cool. Having it be simpler. Yeah, and war paint. I don't know if I'll give her war paint. So make a mohawk out of basing green and paint to match the hair color. Just give her a fat mohawk. I think I'm going to have it where... she has half her head shaved, though. In that kind of cool look that a lot of badass women rock nowadays. But I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Baby. I don't know what that one is, Dave Phillips. These stands are great, but when you need to get underneath something like this, they just don't work. Well, Gen Con requests custom Alice sculpt, citing a need for her to have more badass hair. I'll let them know that they're dropping the freaking ball. Baby, you on the edge? Maybe. That feels weird though. Baby, you on the edge. It's baby you. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to you all. I'm just in a detail heavy part. And I touched the dress anyway. I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. Ooh, that's an interesting question, Mikey. Hey, baby coyote. What's up, Slivies? How goes the painting? It's good. It's good. I got King Arthur's base coat down. And then Alice here is getting there. These ones are more detailed than the other two last time we were painting, so it's going a bit slower, but it's okay. No, I need more blue. Oh, well. Okay, so now... Well, that wasn't good. Oh, shoot. Okay. Baby coyote makes a ton of sense. Okay. I don't want to do this. I need a smaller brush. That's what I need. I definitely need a smaller brush than that. Okay, sorry, I'm just not breathing over here, trying to... Stop shaking hands. The last one sucked. I think it's actually easier on this thing. It's got more of a brace. Oh. All right, Slivers, sorry. Sorry, I had to concentrate. Oh, thank you, Mikey, for sending Alice Looks a Dip. I'm okay with her so far. I think her boots are going to look pretty damn cool. I really like the pink already on there. Alright. Let's do this green. Then I'll do her hair. And I'm going to do the bits on the sword. And then I think we'll finally be done with the base painting, which took me a while. This one. These two are, I got a lot more detail going on. Oh, shoot. I probably shouldn't have put that there. Oh, well. Yeah, it's all dry. Okay. Does that green work on there? I kind of like it. So for now, I'm not so sure about the purple boots. I don't know. What do you do? Put on the bases for these ones? I'm not sure. Pink and green, yeah. Okay, cool, cool. I'm glad. I was mostly referring to you, Quicksand, because I know you and me were seem to be eye to eye on what the boots should be. Okay. I like them. And yeah, it's much better than the gray. I think the gray would have been fine if I had kept her skin lighter. And in terms of the bases, I don't know what I'm putting on the bases. I think I'm gonna put nothing on them. I think I'll probably make them like just a solid color, or maybe I'll put a slight design on them. But I don't want them to take away from the mini itself. So, okay, I need a very light. I'm gonna do a little bit of Screaming Skull. I need to do the face on this clock. I want to be kind of like a very, very light off-white. And then I'll do her hair, which I actually may do in this same kind of off-white color. I might add a teeniest bit of yellow to it, just to give it kind of that kind of like bleach blonde, especially when you bleach blonde like black hair. You know, it's not so much white as it is kind of like a really light yellow. Okay. So, well, per YouTube comments, even the details should take you too long. Yeah, someone was like, it should take me like 20 minutes to do this. And I'm like, what? I understand that I'm not the fastest painter, but that is just ridiculous. That's just dumb. Now I feel like that's too tan. Nope, I regret that. Oh well. I can touch it up. So the more precise I need to be, the more my hands shake. My hands always shake, but gosh, it's annoying. I'm sorry, you're just looking at the very bright hit of light on my dome. I need to figure out a better lighting solution for when I paint. Because it works very well, but the light has to be like right here, so I gotta figure something out. All right. Ooh, I like that. I really like that kind of bleach blonde look. That looks dope. That looks dope. I'm pretty sure people will be offended this time because Alice isn't white too. Oh yeah. I'm sure someone will be. I'm sure we'll lose a subscriber over it. And I cannot express how little I give a fuck about that. Look how dope she looks. Oh, it's so awesome. Alrighty. Okay. I'm gonna need this. I need like a freaking let's just do a little brass. Let's do a little brass. What's that, JG? Mine. I'm pretty sure that's JG Mine. You don't have an actual name, so I think that might be you. So those socks are bananas. Yeah, I love them. They look like gumdrops. It's great. Yeah, it's that JG. What's up, baby? So YouTube just autocorrected or something. Yeah, I don't know. People keep thinking your name is Justin. That's the name of a freaking nerd. Your name is JG Mine. And I love you. All right. Got a little bit of brass there on the sword. I'm going to touch up her dress. Well, no, I'll do this. I need to touch up her skin real quick. That was a good one. Mr. Phillips. Alrighty. Let's touch up her skin. And then we'll do the fancy on the sword. Where's my... There it is. Okay. And then we'll wash them. And sorry, a lot of this stuff has been off camera. I've had to get up close and personal with her to get these details. Okay. Okay. I miss you too, Karen. I'm going to be out there tomorrow, and I'm very, very happy to be out there tomorrow. I miss you all too. Mike and I were talking about this. It's like with the summer just being so crazy because of all, just all the conventions, like we just have no ability to get any kind of routine going. Like I'm not out at the studio regularly, and it's just driving me absolutely bananas. But once once Gen Con is over, our life will get significantly late night R&B. Hell yeah. Our life will get significantly more scheduled and routine again, and I'm very excited about it. Play some music, please. Okay. So I need... Play the music. I just want music. I feel weird sitting in silence. Too much shower, not enough Nick. That's what all the laters are saying, It's a big issue. Ooh. Hell yeah. Oh, no. This is going to be super hard, but I think super worth it. song is not great. I love it. I'm gonna wait on you. That's what's going on in this song, and I'm pretty down with it, not gonna lie. See this, like the instrumental music on this site, which is a site that we use. We pay for a monthly subscription, and we can use any of the songs on our YouTube channel and stuff like that. It's like the instrumental stuff is pretty great. A lot of like the vocal stuff is not that great. Oh, oh. I'm gonna wait on you. Wait on you. Wait on you. He's gonna wait on you. Hi, Netters. This person was like, ha ha. He did one of those. Since y'all can't hear this very subpar R&B, I'm gonna explain every single part of it to you. I'll wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you. Oh, this album is subpar, and I am loving it. Okay. What are you painting? I am painting Alice from Unmatched, the new Restoration Games game. And then I already painted King Arthur. Well, I did their base coats. I'm doing their base coats. And the last time we were painting, I painted Sinbad, did a base coat and a wash. I haven't done any highlights on any of them. And then we also did Bigfoot. Again, base coat and wash. I'm going to do all the highlights probably after Gen Con. I don't think I'm going to have time to do them because I still have 2 people to paint after this, which I'm going to try to do before Gen Con. I'll have Medusa and Robin Hood after this, but I'm not going to be able to finish them. What? This song is great. And by that I mean not good at all. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, God, Alice. Again. So in this song, she's going, someone's got the toe, my. I like you so much. It's great. This song's great. This song's a banger. I like it. You're the one that's missing out. So so much. Much. Ooh. Nick describing royalty-free music should be its own channel. That'd be so ridiculous, but probably really popular. Just because what a weird concept. So I think you guys can see it, but I'm trying to put her blue and her pink on her blade, which will hopefully stand out much better when it has a whoosh on it. Okay, where's the next late night R&B banger? Come on. This computer's moving too damn slow. Ooh, this one's got a sexy beat though. Ooh, then we got some good synth. In this moment, yes, that just happened. Oh, I'll treat you right. No. So in this one, there's someone going like, ha, ha, ha. And then after every single sentence, some guy's either going either yes or no. It's great. I follow. Yeah. Oh, that's probably good enough. The good enough crew strikes again. By the way, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up for me. Come on, do it. I know this isn't our normal night, but the painting streams will kind of be like this. So I'm like, I'm going to paint today, and then we're just going to kind of do it. And thank you all to our patrons out there who made the painting streams. We made it a goal, and then we met that goal. And now we have regular painting streams. So thank you to everyone who supports Patreon. The edge of it all. Yes. Yeah. Good enough. Alice looks amazing. Thank you. I really love her weird gumdrop shoes. Before the he just took it up to another level right now. I think I'm never going to listen to music. I'm just going to describe music to you all. This one wasn't as much of a banger, though, so... It had a banger beat, but not so much the actual... The lyrics weren't weird enough. When you get this royalty-free music, but the lyrics get super weird. The good life. Could have been better. Okay. Is there any more of this? Is there any more of this? No, it's all dry. Poop. Scratch it off. Perfect. Or good enough. Okay, so that's gonna be Alice before we put a wash on. Okay, so now the base coats for these two are done. Only took me 2.5 hours. Jealous. Boom. So now we're gonna put some washes on them, and then we'll be done. Thank you for being here, people, and thank you for sitting through my incredibly slow painting. Not gonna lie, the boots are my favorite. Just a bit of funkiness that makes her cool. Yeah, I like the boots. They're just weird. They're weird. They don't match. It seems like a very, like, kind of punk rock Alice, because we made her kind of punky. Very kind of punk rock Alice thing to do. Okay. So now I gotta figure out what worshes to do. Because the other ones were pretty easy when I did Bigfoot and Sinbad, because they were both kind of, they have a lot of brown on them, brown and orange. Because like his skin is a darker, because you know he's a pirate, so he's very tan. So his skin and the sash here, I could just do kind of a brown shade. And then Bigfoot was super easy to shade because he was literally all brown. But these two both have a lot more color to them in terms of their outfits. And so I can't just like slap a bunch of color. I can't just slap a bunch of brown shade on them. I gotta kind of be more... I gotta be more deliberate than that. So I think for her dress, I'm gonna do... Oh man, I don't even know. What was the first figure I ever painted? It was one of the zombies in the original Zombicide. That was the first one. I don't know which specific one, but the first thing I ever painted was Zombicide, the original OG Zombicide. Oh man, okay, I'm gonna do brown for like his boots and such. For her, oh man, I really don't know. I'll probably do like a Reichland flesh shade with that. Man, this could be weird. I mean, in the end, I'm going to be highlighting it all again. But I just really don't want to, like... I want to limit the amount of work I have to do. And Columbo, how you doing? Okay. So we got a little black. I'm going to throw in some blue. About an equal amount of blue. Boom. Boom. And then... So that gives me this kind of like really dark blue shade. But I don't want it to be that dark. So I'm going to put in some Lamian medium, which is... it's essentially a way to thin down paints. But it's... better than water. It keeps the consistency of acrylic paints better. And I'm going to use this on her blue dress because I don't want a super... If I use just the straight blue shade, it's really, really, really overpowering. And it'll just turn, instead of having this nice kind of like cotton candy blue, it'll turn it just like really dark blue, and it's I would essentially, again, I'm gonna have to highlight it anyway, but it's just like I would then basically have to highlight the entire thing, and this hopefully will darken those shades with a blue without absolutely dominating the whole figure. And so far it looks like it's working, because I want the shade down in those crevices, down in the folds of her skirt, but I don't really want them on the upraised edges. I'm going to try to avoid this getting on the pink if I can. If I do get on the pink, it's not the end of the world. But I would prefer it if it didn't. Not even sorry, you're gonna be the lonely one. That's how this one's going. It's great. You're gonna be the lonely one. Ooh. Ooh. Doing fantastic. Just got out of work. Can't wait for Unmatched. I hope they release a giant spider. Why not, right? Yeah, see, now it's pooling down in those folds. That's what I want. All right, it's good. I didn't overdo the blue or the black. Your time is up. It's too late. How have I not lost all my viewers? You're gonna be the lonely one. You're gonna be the lonely one. So I'm gonna use the same blue on his tabard, or whatever the hell it's called. I probably would like a slightly darker shade, but it's fine. You're gonna be the lonely one. Mostly because his tabard here doesn't have many folds. It's mostly big swashes of flat, smooth, flat cloth, and so it's not as imperative that I have really strong shading, because the shading for this one will come through highlights, not as much through the wash. Sometimes the shadows on a figure are really dependent on the wash. Sometimes they're really dependent on your highlighting. So this is going to be one of the ones where it's more going to be about the highlighting than the wash itself. So I'm not too worried about it. And I'm just lazy. I don't feel like mixing another color, to be completely honest. The main thing I have to worry about is this part down here. This is where I really want the shade, and in these folds. So as long as I have a sufficient amount of wash down there, be fine. So this one start off as show me your soul. Baby, I'm going to show you mine. That's how it started. It was great. He did just ask how much he has to pay to see it, though. That's kind of weird. That's like a weird kind of soul prostitution, and I don't appreciate it. D said, I want Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee will be available. If you're not going to be at a con, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe Mondo will have it available through their website. Yeah, she just walked right past you because you're a weirdo. Asking to pay to see her soul. That's creepy. And I'm going to show you mine. Still weird. This guy's pressuring her into showing him her soul. I don't like that. I don't like this guy. And I'll show you mine. Honey, I'll show you mine. I'm starting to think she should not show him her soul. This guy is pushy. No, 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 don't touch the blue, don't touch the blue. I don't want that dirty ass brown on her blue. Maybe I'll show you mine. It's not way past time. She can choose when to show you her soul. I don't like this guy. Soul Sears. B Whoop, you ain't wrong, baby. Maybe I'll show you mine. I'm not sad this song is over. I'm not sad. I am not that into this shade I got for this one, but that's okay. I mostly need it slightly. Get out of there. The shade for this pink didn't really work, but that's okay. It's not that imperative that I have it perfect. There's not that much pink on her. That's Columbo. You're not wrong. That's the big question everyone's had. How quickly will Bruce Lee beat 3 Raptors? He's gonna win, obviously. Oh, this poor. Oh, damn it! I always do that. All right, this one's got an interesting start to this song. If you thought, is Nick gonna keep describing songs to us? Oh yeah. Ooh, he's getting bad vibes. This one. All that time. That's what he's doing. I'm sorry to break it to you, friend, but gone and lost don't rhyme. I don't care if you're in a sexy falsetto. Gone and lost don't rhyme. Gone and lost don't rhyme. So in this situation, I really don't want this much wash drying down here. This is too much. This is too much. You right, Sass Queen. I'm ready to learn. So he just said, it's great. I want every, like, kindergartner walking to their class be like, I'm ready to learn. It's great. All right, so the last thing I'm going to shade is all going to be Nolan oil here, which is just black. Oh, actually, no, I need to do... All right. Last thing is some Nolan oil, and then I will leave you all alone. I've been thinking about the good times. Alrighty, we are almost there, fam. Again, thank you all for being here. I enjoy painting on stream because I get to talk to people. Alrighty, people. Couple more seconds. Looking for just a few minutes to cook and come back. Oh, what happened? And there she is. Well, thank you. Alrighty, so it's kind of hard to see. Also, because everything's kind of muted now because of the wash, but I'm pretty pumped with how the blade came out. Alrighty, so that is going to be them too. Wow. And that's going to be it, my peoples. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being here for this rather long stream. I wasn't expecting it to be this long, but again, I suck at painting, and I'm very slow at it, so hilarious. What I'm going to do with the bases, I'm not sure yet. I have not painted any of them yet because I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea, Dean. I probably will just do just like a base color of something. I'm not entirely sure, but something. Mike and I will be back over on Twitch tomorrow to stream something. I'm not entirely sure what yet, but be over there Twitch tomorrow to be there for the stream because the stream is going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. It's also going to be our last stream before Gen Con. We're going to try and stream while at Gen Con, but we don't really know when/if we're going to be able to, so there's no real guarantee. So, be there tomorrow. If you do not follow us on Twitch, you like us live streaming, we stream 2 or 3 times a week over on Twitch. And so, I know a lot of people were like, I thought you'd stream on YouTube. But we stream on Twitch more often than not. And so, I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thanks for being here with me and keeping me company while I stream. I love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.